Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, and today is Rec Shares Day, where we go into the various growth and income ETFs, see how they're doing, see how they're performing, see what they paid, compare them to the underlying, this, that, and the other thing. Before that, let's take a look at some Bitcoin. The sell-off continues. People are continuing to sell off. So great, fine, whatever. Me personally, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to continue to buy. Consider this an opportunity for myself, right? For all those woulda, coulda, shoulda days. Now I get the opportunity to, not have to say that, the next go round. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Bitcoin currently and see, what you think. It's odd, actually. Bitcoin's down. And if you look at the market is up in the pre-market. The S&P is up 0.23. The NASDAQ is up 0.34. The Dow is up 0.3 and the Russell's up 0.23. Again, this is as of 6:08 a.m. Things can change, of course. By the way, since we are live, please confirm the audio is all good, so I know I'm not talking to myself, all right? And before we can go any further, I must let you know that this video is sponsored by RecShares, who obviously, this is their website, recshares.com. You can see they have a new fund, ATCL, the Rex Auto Callable ETF. We can get into that maybe one day. We got a drone ETF. We got a lot going on. There's, a crap load of funds. But today, we're kind of focusing on the growth and income funds, which we're going to get into. But guess what? We have to take a shortcut because someone tagged me yesterday. I think it was Butterstrike. If it is, I think it was. Shout out to Butterstrike on X. Looks like they filed for a fund of funds. So if you look here, if I see here, here's the prospectus. We got Rex Growth and Income Universal ETF. The date is February 24th, which is actually today. So yeah, basically it looks like they have filed for a Rex Growth and Income Universe ETF. So basically, again, fund of funds. All of these companies, they eventually, they offer a large enough portion of various stocks, ETFs, and then, within that, people always have their request. Can you launch a fund of funds? And here they are launching the fund of funds. So yeah, I'm not going to go through this in depth. I'm assuming it's all equally allocated and this and that, but I'd rather wait until, personally it's out to the public, launched, and then we could do a full review. Okay, so let's get to the fun stuff. So obviously I did some, I updated all the data in the file. Before we do get to the growth and income, we do have something called Spotlight, where I just do a quick overview of some of the funds that are available on, their website. So I've been just keeping it in order to keep it simple, so I'm not picking randomly. So next up at bat is ESK. That's the ticker symbol. It's called Rex Osprey ETH plus staking ETF. This says ESK is the first listed ETF to combine spot Ethereum. I know talking about crypto right now, everyone's salty, and whatnot, but if you're a believer, you may just consider this, a chance to buy. But whatever, that's up to you. Never financial advice. Anyway, let's move on. Exposure with the potential to earn staking rewards generated through Ethereum network, which the fund seeks to distribute to shareholders built by Rex Osprey. ESK delivers a seamless way to participate in both ETH appreciation and network level income. So if you're kind of new to crypto, a lot of crypto offer the options to stake. Basically, commit to leaving your crypto there and they will give you money back or rewards or whatever. So what they're doing is they're offering it basically at the ETF level, which was not a thing, right? It was always only a thing in the the crypto exchanges like the Coinbases, the Binances, and some of these others. So again, they're saying they're the first. So it is again interesting because a lot of the average Joes out there, they're probably still not going to download even Coinbase. I look at Coinbase as the most trustworthy of the bunch. So if they don't even look at Coinbase, then maybe the only way that they'll mess around with this stuff is through an ETF. All right. So anyway, looks like it's 11.95. The expense ratio is 0.75%. We can pull up a fact sheet real quick. Yeah, the fact sheet never really has too much. I don't even know why I bother with that. Let's go back. Can you guys see? Should I zoom in? All right, what do they got here? So they got the staked Ethereum. They got Wisdom Tree physical Ethereum. And then, okay, so they have Ethereum outright, 14%, 42% in physical Ethereum from Wisdom Tree, and then 42% is staked. So obviously, and then they pay distributions, and they pay this on a monthly basis. Let's see when they launched. The first distribution was dated back sometime in October. It was for 2 cents. And then they paid 1 cent, and then 1 cent, and then 1 cent. So it looks like, yeah, you're not getting much. But again, it's a penny a month. So again, these rewards, these staked rewards, they don't pay you bank, bro, right? But they pay you something. And that's the point. You want to make something for holding your Ethereum. You want to make something for holding your Bitcoin. You want to make something for holding your XRP, whatever you hold. And that's the idea behind it, right? Because if not, you're just sitting on the crypto and you're not earning anything, especially if it's going down. You're like, wait, what am I doing? I want to at least earn an income. So, so staking rewards is a way to do that. All right. So that ends the spotlight this week for SK. Obviously, next week we will cover the next one in the list, if we go up here, let's see who is next. What the heck just happened? Wow, they got a lot of messages at the top. I'm not going to go through all them, but let's see. ETPs, crypto, Osprey. The next up is XRPR. All right, so obviously that's a staking version of XRP, which a lot of people are into. Same with Ethereum. I think the top three are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, at least from what I see. I didn't look at the obviously market value, but let's move on. So we're going to move on now to the fund sheet again. Of course, yeah, spreadsheet. I know. So what I look to look at a few things. I like to look at. By the way, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning. We are live on YouTube and X. Both of them, why not, right? If you guys have any questions on these RecShare funds, let me know. All right. Let me know what you think about these funds and what you think about the fund of funds. But, unfortunately, I don't know, man. I feel like what they're all doing, they're all kind of backtracking and saying, all right, yeah, we like the fund of funds, but you know what? We're only going to buy or allocate into the funds that are doing well. So hopefully RecShares gets ahead of that and maybe offers 2 ETFs, 1 fund of funds, and then 1, fantastical fund of funds, something like that, if that makes sense. One, the best of the best in the world. All right. Anyway, let's move on. So assets under management, the largest fund that they have under this umbrella of funds is NVII. Of course, yeah, this was the first launch. So, but it's NVIDIA based. So of course, yeah, it's popular. But pretty, Tesla only launched like a week later, and they have a pretty good lead on the Tesla fund. So that's interesting. ULTI is pretty far behind too. But again, NV2 75 million, TS2 45 million, and ULTI 16 million. And then MS2 at 3 million, WMTI at an impressive 3 million. Again, that's my favorite, WMTI. and then all the other suckers down below. And then, of course, we do have house money over here. And you can see, who has paid the most as compared to the launch price. And the answer is TS2. Because, again, we do calculate the total distributions, which they've paid out $10 from inception, at least based on my calculation. And all of these launched at $25. So they paid about 40%, NV2 about 39%, COI about, or COII, whatever we're calling it, 26%, and so on and so forth. As far as the highest yielders of the gang, TS2 is in the lead with an average yield. This is of all of them. This is based on what they yielded at the time of the distribution date, and then we take the average from there. So TS2 is number one with a 54% average yield, Altai at 53, NV2 at 44, LL2 at 42. Surprisingly, these are on the bottom, but again, could be screwed up calculations. I don't know, man. But what is it based on distribution? Yeah. I mean, it's just seems super low based on that. But these Robinhood and Palantir, to me, like, they deserve to be on the bottom lately. They just have not been doing well overall, which it sucks. But hopefully, the stock market's been weird, really weird, and it's tough to play in, to be honest. But anyway, let's see how the week has gone in these funds. But we'll start with Tesla. So again, we're going to pull up the last. In this example, I think it's 6 days, only because we had a holiday last week, and it kind of screwed up the whole, days and ex-dividend date and all that jazz. So, but whatever. Tesla went down again. Everything's going down lately, right? Yeah, maybe. It went down 2.63%. TS2, they went down a little more at 2.78%. So, but again, you don't really want to see that. And yes, we did add back that's with adding back the distribution. All right, so there's one for Tesla, or the underlying, should we say. All right, now we're going to look at this one. Again, this is the one that's shaded we covered last week. I'm just keeping it there in case we need to go back and look at the price. NVIDIA had a good week, though. They did go up 3.56%, so bravo to them. NV2, they went up 3.98%. So NV2 took the crown, which is good. So, as they should. Again, sometimes these funds work out. It's all about the timing, day in, day out. Remember, these funds are leveraged. They are 1.05 to 1.5 leverage of the underlying. And then they sell covered calls on 50% of the overall position. All right, let's look at coin. What's up, coin? Coin heads. All right, so what do we got here? We got coin going down. Again, crypto related. Of course, it's going to go down. It went down 3.48%. COII also went down. Nothing you could do there. But they went down a little less. They went down 3.22%. So yeah, rough week. Rough week for all up in her. All right, guess what? I'll let you take a wild guess. Did MSTR go down last week? Did it? Yes. If you said yes, you win. They went down 3.85%. MS2, did they go down? Yes, of course, but they only went down 2.82%. But again, man, this fund taking a beating. Luck of the launch draw, but MSTR, it just seems like it's been quite, it's quite some time now that it has been performing bad. So obviously any MSTR ETF, not just MS2, not just Misty, not just, MS whatever, MSTW, these are just going to get destroyed. And people are not going to be happy. But who do you blame? I blame the Bitcoin, right? Who's selling the Bitcoin, by the way? Who sells at this price? It is probably mostly automated through since they're all in IBIT ETFs, they're all in portfolios, they're controlled by financial men. Who knows, man. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. No, anybody got time for that? All right, so let's look at Robinhood. I mean, Robinhood, it's been brutal. I don't know what to say, but they went down again. Look at it, down, down, down. I don't know when they go up. They'll turn, but when they turn it around, oof! If you could time that sucker right, get ready. They went down 4.85%. Is HOII, of course, yes, they went down as well, but they did not go down as much, 4.54%. And remember, when Robinhood goes down, HOII is going to go down, even more because they have leverage. Okay. However, they do sell covered calls. So, when the fund goes down, the covered call most will be almost 100% profit, which, is it's nice to win your covered calls, but to an extent, you don't want to win it this way all the time, right? But yeah, that's why you're seeing some of these ETFs outperforming the underlyings on the big down weeks. All right, let's look at Palantir. Palantir, yes, of course, they went down as well. They went down 1.82% this week. That's actually not that bad considering. PLTI, which again, that's the RexShares version of the ETF, they actually went up. They almost went up a whole percent. So that's interesting. But again, it depends on the timing of the days. And obviously it worked out in this case. PLTI, of course, yes, this is with adding back the distribution, which is only 9 cents though. But they went up about almost a whole percent. And while this one went down almost 2%. So, hey, we'll take that win it all day. All right, CoreWeave up in her. They almost stayed flat for the week. They went down 0.18%. If we look at CW2, yeah, CW2, bruh, they had a not nice. They had a not nice week. So yeah, they went down 2.47%. See, you win some, you lose some. And CWT2 lost some that week. All right, so LLY, how you doing? Well, they had an up week. They went up 2.17%. Again, it depends how the timing is, but obviously LL2 did not go up as much. So maybe they got some cappity doodah along the way. They went up 1.28%. All right, again, our favorite fund, the Walmart fund, WMT. They went down. Walmart actually went down. It's odd. It's unusual that Walmart goes down. They went down 2.36%. Very, very upsetting. All right. Anyway, WMTI, how you doing? They went down 2.09%. So they went down less, but they went down nonetheless. And keep in mind, yes, all of these funds, what have they launched at? $25. What is the price of WMTI? $28. So it's still above the launch price, which is good. And they've been paying out distributions every single week. And yes, they do drop by the distribution. So far, so good with this fund. But again, look at the underlying. The underlying is basically all, that's what matters. You got freaking Walmart as the underlying. You're going to feel pretty good about yourself. Where's Walmart going? Who's competing with Walmart? Like, who can compete with their prices? So who's going to take Walmart down? Anyone? No, I don't think so. Amazon? No, I don't think so. I don't know. You guys let me know. I just, it's different by, of course, location where people live. But, you go to even you go from Target to Walmart. Like Target doesn't even compare to their prices, right? Or like the supermarket, forget it, man. The supermarket, those prices are out of control. You go to Walmart, yeah, maybe you get a crappier product, maybe. I don't know, but it's just cheap. But what you have to deal with is the chaos, right? I don't know about your Walmart, but it is nuts. The people that go there, no thank you. I avoid shopping altogether though. So for those of you that do shop, have fun with that. All right, so let's look at the Qs and Altai. Again, I don't know a better comparable. And to be honest, the Qs don't even make sense to compare. But we need like a degen ETF. But anyway, the Qs had a rough week too. They went up at least. They went up 0.02%. Okay. Altai had a really good week. Altai went up 2.48%. So that's good. Again, last week, not so good. Week before that, good. Week before that, not so good. So Ulti's, they're wishy-washy. They own a lot of different funds, though, so you just don't know what you're going to get. I'm pretty sure they're still playing the high IV game, but we'll try to take a look at the underlyings when we get to the holdings tab. All right, so that is the update on the daily compare. Again, the distribution tab, this just holds what all of them are paying along the way. If you do, I guess I could show you guys the latest yield, right? So if we look at TS2 based on the latest distribution, which was declared yesterday, that's a 53% yield. And it was a 6-cent decrease in distribution. I guess I should always do this, right? I didn't even think about it. All right, NV2, they declared 24 cents. That was a decrease from the prior week, and that is a 45% yield. COII, COII, they declared 6 cents, 0.0682 to be exact. That is a 3-cent decrease, and that is a 40% yield. It looks like the overall IV in the market maybe has decreased over the past week. MS2, they paid, or they declared, they didn't pay it yet. They declared 4 cents. That's a 3-cent decrease, and that is a 40% yield. HOII, they declared 6 cents, which is a 3-cent decrease and only a 30% yield. PLTI, they declared 5 cents. That is a 4-cent decrease, which is only, wow, it's only a 20% yield. Wow. Again, there was some drop in, the VIX, the volatility overall last week. So I'm guessing that is why a lot of these are less. CW2, how we doing? They paid 11, again, they didn't pay, they declared 11 cents, 2-cent decrease, 42% yield. LL2 up on her. LL2, they got some weird one. They like Eli Lilly and CoreWeave first before some other big underlyings. Anyway, they declared 13 cents. That is a big decrease. That is 11-cent decrease and a 27% yield. All right, Walmart up in her. Check this baby out. Again, Walmart to the rescue, man. They declared, again, 36 cents. Wow. Wow. 68% yield. Did they have earnings last week? Man, that is a sweet-ass yield for a freaking Walmart fund. Sign me up. I'm about to buy. I keep talking about it. I got to do it already. Anyway, Ulti, when did they declare? They declared on the 18th. But again, for this week, they actually declare tomorrow. But again, just looking at last week, 19 cents, which is pretty much in range with the prior week, 79% yield. Wow. But did they take that? I guess they took that much of a beating in price. Holy crapola. Something's not right. Okay. Yeah, we updated the close on all these. Remember that last week? Okay. Anyway, let's get to the holdings. Now. Let me check the comments, see if you guys have any questions. We will get to the holdings. Why do we look at the holdings? Well, we want to see what makes up the assets under management, the net asset value, the NAV, the share price. How does it move? Like, what's in there? What's going on? This is our money, right? We want to know what's going on in there. Isn't there a metals ETF? Not under the growth and income umbrella, but I'm sure they have one under the other umbrellas. Have a good day at work. Yeah, but I'm saying volatility went down last week or the week before. I forget which one. I only know I trade the VIX now, so I'm watching that thing like a hawk. And the thing like it's like today. Let's see where the VIX is. The VIX is at like 21, so it's up though. It's up in the pre-market. All right, coffee sip. Cheers. All right, let's take a look at TS2. How we doing? Again, what do they hold? They hold treasuries. They hold cash. Duh. All right, and then a bond. All right, great. Whatever. What about the covered calls? Well, again, they sell covered calls on 50% of the position. When we say position, what does that mean? It means a synthetic combo, a buy call, a sell put. That's their position. That's the position that mimics the movement of the underlying. That's the position that has an expiration date, though, of March 20th. And it has a strike price of 411. Tesla is sitting at 399. So is this a gold digger? No, not really, because they got time and the price is actually not that bad. But we're here to look at the covered call that expires this Friday, February 27th, and that covered call is a 419 strike, which is well above the 399 Tesla price. Of course, yes, we do. Do we want to look at pre-market along the way? Maybe. Tesla read yesterday. Tesla read in the pre-market. So, ouchie. Okay, that's not good. Anyway, they're 5% out of the money. But again, we got 4 trading days. Unfortunately, we have 4 full days left in this week. It feels like we had a whole week ahead, at least here. Snowed like crazy. Still didn't finish shoveling out there. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a long week. All right, let's move on to the next one. NV2, how we doing? Let's see how we doing. All right, can we fit this all on the page? I think the Zoom is aight. What do you think? All right. Yeah, we'll do that. There you go. There you go, buddy. All right. So NV2, they got treasuries, they got cash, whatever. How's their synthetic doing? They got a 187. NVIDIA is priced at 191. Their synthetic's doing just fine. How's their covered call doing? They got a 191. It's at the money, basically. It's 0.06% out of the money. Is it safe? No. I mean, there's 4 trading days left. NVIDIA could moon, baby. We know NVIDIA. Are they mooning now? They're up 0.4% in the pre-market, so something's moving the right direction. Usually not our stuff, right? But if you own NVIDIA, yeah, good. It's moving up a little bit, just a little bit. All right. So, but we'll see how that covered call goes for the rest of the week and how it performs. All right, COII, what are you doing? Well, they got synthetics. Yeah, buy call sell put 165. That expires March 20th. Remember, most of their synthetics, I think a lot of them expired like last week, right? But they only, if that's the case, really, they only moved it out 1 month. I really wish they could move these synthetics further out, but maybe they can't because of the concentration rule. But whatever, synthetic combo, our synthetic strike is at 165. It's, in line kind of. The current price is $5 less. How's the covered call doing? 5% out of the money with 4 trading days. MS2. All right, so let's see what they're doing. They got a synthetic of 129. MSTR is at 123. The covered call is at 132. Again, expires Friday, 6.73% out of the money. All right, HOII. Their synthetic is a 105. Robinhood, ooh, yeah, that's bad. Robinhood is at 71. So this is the definition of a gold digger. She take my money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a trifling friend indeed. Oh, she's a gold digger. Way of town that they gonna make. So what does that mean? Well, again, when you create this synthetic, we always say the dude is the call. He's got money, right? He's got money. And then right when it starts off, he can typically afford the lady, which is the put, right? She's the put. But sometimes as things go on, they could become a gold digger. And this one under HOII, that's what you see. She wants 373,000. And looky here. The dude has 3,120. He is a broke loser. He is out of his league. He can't afford it. So, but he has until March 20th to make a decision, right? He did not get no prenup, so he got to pay the gold digger probably, unless Robinhood decides to go up, and away. But will it? Probably not. But anyway, that's why we sing gold digger. Most people probably know that already, but hey, you got to explain for any newbies out there. Anyway, So how's the covered call doing? Someone said NVIDIA has earning. Oh yeah, they do. They have earnings this week. Good point. Good point. Should be Wednesday after hours, right? We go to the earnings calendar. Wednesday, boom, NVIDIA. They report after the close. Estimated EPS 150. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, again, they will move the market though for sure. They are a gigantic company, and it's like a holiday when they report earnings. So hopefully they do well. If not, again, market is just going to keep going down. I think we're all numb to it at this point. Just getting beat up lately. So it is what it is. Whatevs. All right, selling calls here. What's their covered call strike? $77. That's 7.27% out of the money. Why? Well, because Robinhood is at 71. Okay, great. All right. Well, how's PLTI? Well, they got options, right? They got synthetics. They got the 165. Palantir is at 130. So lucky for you. I won't sing again, but you know what this is. You know what this is. There's the lady. There she is. There she is. And where's the dude? Oh, here he comes. Boom. He has $7,200 to his name. She wants $287,000. You know the drill. You guys got to sing to yourself. In fact, we can, in case you don't know the words, we do have a ticker. In case, if you want to sing in your head while we go through this, but think about it, man. Again, the buy call, what is this? It gets more valuable, right? When the stock goes up, when the underlying goes up, you buy a leap, you buy a call, it's going to be more valuable. So this would go up in price as the underlying Palantir would go up in price. Alternatively, what would happen here is if Palantir went down in price, this would cost more money, right? Which would bring our net asset value down, right? This moves up. When the price goes up, this moves down. So, again, they both move with each other. They say it has a delta 1, even though technically it's a leverage play, so it's not really a delta 1. It's like a delta whatever, 1.05 to 1.5 technically, right? But you get what I'm saying. And the point is, she's a gold digger. All right, let's remove this. The singing has stopped, but how we doing on the covered call side? We're doing all right. We got a 138, expires in 4 days. How's Palantir doing? I don't know. Right now, it's 5.67% out of the money. If we pull up Palantir, let's just guess red, and that's my guess. Red. Oh God, they're almost down 2%. They just keep going down because they go down. That's what they do lately. And yeah, so if they continue to go down, then obviously this covered call, it's going to be, almost 100% profit, which is great and all. But again, our synthetic is getting beat down. We're going to keep singing. Like if next week it's down even more, we're probably going to have to sing the whole video. All right. Anyway, let's move on. So that's P to the L to the T to the I. Now we got to talk about CW2. It sounds like a TV show, right? Buy call, sell put. How's the synthetic doing? It's a 92.50. CRWV is at 90. That's fine. That expires next month. We got time. Time is on our side. Yes, it is, but barely a month. Anyway, they're selling calls at what, 91? Out of the money, barely out of the money, 0.18% out of the money, with 4 trading days to go. Chico. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. LL2, open her. LL2, that's the underlying. And no, I'm sorry, that's the fund. LLY is the underlying. Buy, call, sell, put. Ooh, very expensive stock. 1,080 is the synthetic strike price. Cat, what the heck? Obviously, I'm not pulling the right thing here. So you got to pull one above. Let's do row 8. There you go. LLY is at 1,058, which is below the synthetic, but we'll see. Maybe it'll recover. How's the covered call doing? They got a 1,040. It's in the money. It's in the money, but only by 1.75%. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how we perform and go from there. All right, Walmart time. Are you ready? All right, should we make this blue? We should make this blue and white like the Walmart colors. There you go, like that, and then you do like white. And there you go. Now it feels like Walmart. All right, so let's see. Treasury, damn, 89% in treasuries. Good thing we're earning that interest. Anyway, let's look at the synthetic combo. They got 300 contracts. They got a 115 strike price. How's that doing? It's doing good. Walmart's at 125. So you can see here, see the dude? Now this is a reverse gold digger. This is a dude that can, afford his lady. Yeah, she only wants 31,000. She's not picky. She'll take the Walmart handbags, right? The Walmart clothes. And see how much money he has to spare. He chose wisely. Now, what about the covered call? That's a 129. Where's Walmart at? 125. Even our covered call, our synthetics doing good. Our covered calls doing good. We're doing just good. So falling prices over here, and we're making money. We're getting the discount. All right, now on to ULTI. Again, this is not under the growth in income umbrella. Technically, if you go to the RecShares website, they are under income max. So if you click income max, they are it. They are their own category, basically. But anyway, what are they holding? Do we even know half these companies? Uranium, Bloom, Applied Digital, Core Scientific, Rocket Lab, TeraWolf, Riot, Bitmine, Immersion, Core Mining, Intuitive Machines, Nebius, Sunrun, AST, Liquidia, Red Cat, Planet Labs, OnDis, Trade Desk, and yeah, there's all the options underneath. So again, I do not have the individual ticker because for some reason the security identifier, it has the QSIP for these suckers, but where is the ticker? I want the ticker for what they're trading. I want the actual ticker. And then we could check the IV and see how it does, right? But I don't know. That's just, we'll get there. We'll get there. So that's what they hold. I think we were talking about ULTI in the beginning, but I don't know, man. ULTI's having a rough go at it. Hopefully things get better and they turn it around. Who was that? Someone was asking they have metals. Income. We got laddered T-bill, auto callable, leverage. Wow, they have a lot of leverage. Micro sectors. Yeah, I don't know. But obviously, this is the main section there. But yeah, if you missed the beginning, RecShares is coming out with a universe ETF, fund of funds. We knew it was going to come. So now, all of the funds that are here, probably not ULTI, of course, but everyone else, TS2, NV2, LL2, blah, 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 blah. About 9 funds, I believe, would be added to the fund of funds, probably equally allocated. And, it's just owning all of them. Instead of having to buy all of them yourself, keeping it equally allocated, then there you go. But so yeah, just FYI. And quick Bitcoin update. How we doing? Yeah, we're probably headed to 62. Right? Why not? Right? Why not go to the 50s? All right. Let's check the overall market. Again, it's still early, 6:46 a.m. At least as of when I'm recording this video. Every index is up, barely, not up by anything drastic, but it is up. So that kind of wraps it up for the video today. That's the update. Hopefully that helped. If you have any questions, leave them down below. But of course, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. Brother says there were additions to the ULTI rotation 20 hours ago. Let's see if that's updated. Again, we're polling the holdings directly, so maybe it's not updated yet. Let it be. Let it be. All right. Yeah, these look to be the same funds, but they do have a download, an intraday download. So that's good, right? Not much going on here, but maybe this is the old one. All right. I had Reddit. Okay, Cletus. Come on, Cletus. All right. So brother says they posted it on X. Okay. All right. All good. All good. That's good though. That's good that they post it on X because it's a little more interactive, and people can comment it because not the average everyday investor is not going to go, let me go to the website and download the intraday trade file and see what they bought. No. The average investor is not going to do that. The average investor, will they open Twitter and click on a tweet? Yes, they will. So that, good on them for doing that. So I like that. So I'll have to check it out and go from there. But thanks for sharing, brother. Brother. All right. We said not financial advice. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. And then, of course, tell your friends. Outside of that, I got nothing but a keyword. So what does that mean? It means if you made it this freaking far in the video and you would like to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. What's the keyword? Intraday tweets. What do you think, brother? You got a keyword today? Bitcoin red. Wah. Let it snow. What do we think? Is everyone still asleep? Everyone get their coffee yet? Okay. All right. So again, if you made it this far in the video and you would like to prove it, you gotta say the keyword. Keyword today. We'll go with brother AB's keyword. Keyword is BTC red because that's all we know. Bitcoin be red. Okay, Bitcoin red. So yeah, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the comments down below. After the video, of course, whether you're watching on X, whether you're watching on YouTube, you got to type in BTC red. So if I see that comment, that way I know, you suckers out there, you made it to the end of the video. You made it 43 minutes. So congratulations. Anyway, I'm out of here. I just want to say thank you for joining live. If you're watching after, obviously, thank you as well. I do appreciate it. But we shall talk later. So, as they say, later.